Hello, and welcome everyone to this presentation on IEP meeting preparation and collaboration. This comprehensive guide is designed to support new special education teachers, paraprofessionals, and all stakeholders involved in the IEP process. Throughout this presentation, we will explore the essential steps, timelines, stakeholders, and strategies necessary to conduct collaborative and successful IEP meetings that truly support students with exceptionalities and their families. By the end of this presentation, you will have a clear understanding of how to prepare for initial IEP, annual IEP reviews, and amendments, as well as how to foster meaningful partnership with families throughout the process. IEP meetings are required in specific situations throughout a student's special education journey. An initial IEP meeting is held when a student is first found eligible for special education services. Annual IEP meetings occur once per school year to review progress and update goals. Amendments occur when changes need to be made to a student's IEP outside of the annual review. Additionally, progress monitoring meetings and transition planning meetings may be scheduled as needed. It is critical to remember that every individual attending the IEP meeting is a valued member of the team and must be actively involved in all decision making processes. This collaboration approach ensures that diverse perspectives are considered and that the IEP truly reflects the student's needs, strengths, and family priorities. Preparation is absolutely essential for conducting an effective IEP meeting. Starting 8 to 10 weeks before the meeting, review the student's current IEP and complete file to understand their educational history and current services. Simultaneously schedule the meeting with all required participants and send formal meeting notices to parents. 4 to 6 weeks before the meeting, begin systematic data collection and progress monitoring while confirming attendance with team members. 2 to 3 weeks prior, complete all assessment data, progress reports, and draft proposed goals based on current student performance. 1 week before the meeting, send the draft IEP and all supporting documents to stakeholders to allow time for review and questions. Finally, on the day of the meeting, ensure the physical or virtual space is welcoming, organized, and ready for collaborative discussion. This structured timeline ensures nothing is overlooked and allows adequate time for preparation and for stakeholders and parents to review. IDEA regulations specify required team members for every IEP meeting. Parents or guardians bring invaluable knowledge of their child and family priorities. The special education teacher leads the meeting and addresses specialized instruction and services. The general education teacher provides critical insight into how the student performs in the mainstream curriculum and classroom environment. The school psychologist contributes assessment data and behavioral or cognitive information. The school administrator ensures the school can provide proposed services and maintains legal compliance. Related services providers such as speech language pathologists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, or school counselors contribute their specialized expertise. When appropriate, the student should participate to develop self advocacy skills and ensure goals reflect personal aspirations. Additional specialists, such as bilingual education specialists or specialists for students who are deaf or hard of hearing, may also be essential team members depending on that student's needs. Each team member brings a unique and critical perspective that strengthens the IEP. Data is the foundation of effective IEP development. For the present level section, collect standardized assessment scores, classroom grades, work samples, curriculum based measurements, behavioral observation data, and information about the student's functional performance in the school and community settings. For goals and objectives, gather baseline performance data, progress monitoring data, and progress monitoring data from the previous IEP year, teacher observations, parent input, and information about student strengths and interests. When determining appropriate special education services, examine data showing the effectiveness of the current services, the student's response to interventions, and the frequency and duration needed for meaningful progress. For accommodation and modifications, collect data demonstrating how current supports impact student performance. Comparing performance with and without specific accommodations, gathering student feedback about helpful strategies, and considering teacher recommendations. All data should be current, relevant, and directly connected to the student's needs. This comprehensive data collection ensures that IEP decisions are based on evidence rather than assumptions, leading to more effective and individualized plans. Effectively communicating student progress is essential for making stakeholder engagement and ensuring collaborative decision making. Begin by presenting data visually through graphs, charts, and progress monitoring displays that make trends immediately apparent. Use clear, accessible language when explaining assessment results, avoiding educational jargon that may confuse families. Always compare current performance to baseline data and previous progress to show growth over time. Be balanced in your presentation, highlighting both progress the student has made in areas where additional support is needed. Connect all data directly to the specific IEP goals and objectives so stakeholders understand how progress is being measured. Share concrete examples of student work samples and behavioral observations to illustrate points. Discuss what instructional strategies and supports are working well and what may need adjustment. Invite questions and encourage stakeholders to share their own observations and interpretations of the data. Providing written progress reports in addition to verbal discussion ensures all stakeholders have documentation they can review and share with others. IDEA requires specific documentation at different stages of the IEP process. Before the meeting, send parents a notice of meeting at least 10 days prior, including the date, time, location, and purpose. Provide a draft IEP document for parent review, along with progress monitoring reports, assessment reports, and the current IEP if this is an annual review or an amendment. During the meeting, have the official IEP document ready for completion and signatures, along with a clear meeting agenda, data summary sheets, and student work samples to discuss supports. After the meeting, ensure the completed IEP is signed by all participants and provide copies to parents, teachers, and the student's file. Complete the prior written notice, which explains any decisions made and the school's reasoning. Provide the notice of procedural safeguards outlining parent rights under IDEA. Ensure all participants receive copies of the final IEP and establish clear implementation timeline so teachers know when services begin. Proper documentation demonstrates compliance with IDEA and requirements and creates a clear record of the team's decisions. Providing draft IEPs and supporting documents to all stakeholders at least 1 week before the meeting offers numerous benefits to the collaborative process. When parents receive materials in advance, they have time to review proposed goals, services, and accommodations, allowing them to prepare thoughtful questions and input. General education teachers can review accommodations and modifications they will implement, ensuring they understand their role. This advanced review reduces actual meeting time by addressing questions and clarifying information before the formal meeting begins. Providing materials in advance demonstrates genuine respect for the stakeholder time and contributions, signaling that their input is valued. Families can discuss the IEP privately with trusted advocates or relatives before the meeting, reducing anxiety and increasing confidence in participation. Early distribution allows potential disagreements or concerns to surface before the meeting, giving the team time to gather additional information or reconsider proposals. This practice empowers families to be equal partners in decision making rather than passive recipients of school decisions. It creates transparency and builds trust by showing the school is not hiding information or making decisions behind closed doors. Ultimately, providing advance notice ensures all participants fully understand proposed goals, services, accommodations, and modifications, leading to more meaningful and collaborative discussions during the meeting itself. Creating a genuinely welcoming environment is essential for meaningful family engagement in IEP meetings. Begin by greeting all participants warmly and personally as they arrive. Use clear, accessible language throughout the meeting, avoiding educational jargon that may make families feel excluded or confused. Actively listen to family perspectives and validate their knowledge of their child, demonstrating that their input is genuinely valued. Explicitly ask families about their child's strengths, concerns, and priorities, ensuring their voice shapes the IEP. Seat families at the table as equal team members, never positioning them as observers on the periphery. Provide professional interpreters or translators for families who are multilingual, ensuring language is never a barrier to participation. Offer virtual participation options for families unable to attend in person due to work schedules, transportation challenges, or other barriers. Schedule meetings at times that are convenient for families, considering their work schedules and preferences. When possible, provide childcare or other supports to remove barriers to participation. Begin meetings by sharing student work samples and celebrating successes before discussion areas needing improvement. Creating a positive collaborative tone, provide families with a written summary of decisions, goals, services, and next steps, ensuring clarity and documentation. Follow up with families after the meeting to answer additional questions and strengthen the partnership. Providing alternative means of participation ensures that all stakeholders, regardless of circumstances or abilities, can meaningfully contribute to IEP decisions. Virtual attendance via video conference accommodates working parents who cannot leave their jobs or families facing transportation challenges. Telephone participation offers another flexible option for those unable to attend in person. Some families may prefer providing written feedback before or after the meeting rather than verbal participation, and this communication should be welcome and incorporated. For nonverbal communicators or those with communication disabilities, provide written feedback options and ensure assistive technology is available. Professional, bilingual, or multilingual interpreters and translated materials ensure language is never a barrier for participation. Consider extending meeting times or scheduling multiple shorter sessions to reduce overwhelm for families processing complex information. For families uncomfortable in school settings due to past negative experiences, offering home visits demonstrates commitment to their participation. Student led conferences with peer support can empower students with disabilities to participate in discussing their own progress. Allowing families to bring advocates or support persons ensures they feel supported and can process information effectively. Flexible scheduling accommodates diverse work schedules and demonstrates respect for family circumstances. These alternative strategies remove barriers to participation, honor diverse communication styles, and demonstrate genuine commitment to inclusion. They build trust with families who may have had negative school experiences and model inclusive practices that benefit the entire school community. When families see the school actively working to include their voices, they are more likely to engage in meaningful collaboration. Effective facilitation ensures IEP meetings are productive, respectful, and focused on student needs. Begin by starting on time and maintaining a clear agenda so all participants know what to expect and the meetings stay on track. Establish ground rules at the beginning, emphasizing respectful communication, active listening, and collaborative problem solving. Make intentional efforts to ensure all voices are heard, particularly quieter or less assertive participants who may hesitate to speak up. Periodically summarize decisions before moving to the next topic to ensure everyone agrees and to prevent misunderstandings. When conflicts arise, approach them as opportunities for collaborative problem solving rather than becoming defensive about school positions. Take organized notes documenting all decisions, proposed goals, services, and accommodations, ensuring accuracy and creating a clear record. Assign specific action items with clear responsibility and timeline so everyone knows what they are accountable for implementing. Maintain focus on the student needs, strengths, and priorities throughout the meeting, preventing the discussion from becoming derailed by tangible issues. End the meeting with a clear summary of next steps and follow up plans, ensuring all participants leave with understanding and clarity. For virtual meetings, test all technology beforehand to ensure reliability and prevent technical difficulties that disrupt meetings. Minimize distractions and use professional backgrounds to maintain a formal, respectful tone. Ensure good lighting and clear audio so all participants can see and hear effectively. Use screen sharing to display data visualizations and the IEP document so all participants can follow along. Monitor engagement and actively invite participation from quieter members who may be hesitant to speak up during virtual meetings. When possible, record meetings with explicit permission from all participants for documentation purposes. Send follow up written summaries to all participants within 1 week, reinforcing decisions and next steps. Collaboration should not end when the IEP meeting concludes. Ongoing communication and partnership throughout the school year strengthens relationships and ensures the IEP remains responsive to students' needs. Utilize secure messaging systems such as Remind, Class Dojo, or Schoology for regular informal communication with families. Use emails for more formal documentation of important decisions or concerns. Learning management systems and parent portals allow families to monitor their child's progress, grades, and attendance in real time, promoting transparency and engagement. Video conferencing platforms enable quick check in meetings without the formality of full IEP meetings. Send weekly progress reports specifically addressing IEP goals, allowing families to monitor progress toward objectives. Monthly data summary emails provide families with concrete information about their child's performance. Schedule quarterly progress conferences midway between annual IEP meetings to discuss progress and make adjustments if needed. Digital portfolios showcasing student work samples provide a powerful evidence of growth and accomplishment. Communicate promptly about behavioral or academic concerns rather than waiting until the formal meeting. Regular check ins between meetings, occurring at minimum monthly, demonstrate ongoing commitment to partnership. Celebrate small wins and progress with families, maintaining a positive collaborative tone. Respond promptly to family concerns or questions, showing their input is valued and taken seriously. Involve families in collaborative problem solving when challenges arise rather than making unilateral decisions. Maintain a consistent, respectful, and professional communication tone in all interactions. Document all communication for compliance purposes and to create clear records of the partnership. This ongoing communication ensures families remain engaged partners throughout the year and that the IEP remains responsive to evolving student needs. Students with exceptionalities must be central to the IEP process, not peripheral participants. Explain the IEP process in age appropriate, understandable language so students grasp why meetings occur and how decisions affect them. When developmentally appropriate, involve students in setting goals, ensuring objectives reflect their interests and aspirations rather than only adult priorities. Share progress data with students using accessible formats such as visual graphs or simple language explanations, helping them understand their own growth. Celebrate student strengths and accomplishments regularly, building confidence and positive self perception. Build self advocacy skills by gradually increasing the students' participation in IEP meetings and student led conferences, empowering students to discuss their own needs and preferences. Actively listen to student preferences and interests, incorporating them into goals and learning activities. Involve students in collaborative problem solving when challenges arise, developing critical thinking and self determination skills. Help students develop understanding of their disability and specific learning needs, reducing shame and building self acceptance. Provide meaningful opportunities for students' choice in learning activities and classroom decisions, fostering engagement and motivation. Once the IEP is developed, clearly communicate all the accommodations and modifications to all staff working with the student, ensuring consistency. Provide professional development and training for staff on specialized services and evidence based strategies. Monitor implementation fidelity to ensure services are being delivered as written in the IEP. Adjust strategies based on student response and progress data, remaining responsive to evolving needs. Build positive relationships with students that support engagement and motivation. Create truly inclusive classrooms environments where all students feel they belong and are valued. Foster student confidence and self determination, preparing them for successful transitions in adult life. IEP meetings do not always proceed smoothly, and special education teachers must be prepared to navigate challenges professionally and collaboratively. When families disagree with proposed goals or services, listen respectfully to their concerns without becoming defensive. gather additional data or seek clarification about their perspective, offer to reconvene the meeting after the team has had some time to consider their input and gather further evaluation information if needed. When explaining assessment results proves difficult, use visual displays such as graphs and charts. Provide written summaries families can take home. Use concrete examples from classroom performance and consistently avoid educational jargon. Address time constraints by providing advanced materials so less meeting time is spent on explanation, using a clear agenda to keep discussion focused. Limiting attendees to essential team members and scheduling follow up meetings. If comprehensive discussion cannot occur in one session. Language barriers require hiring professional interpreters rather than relying on family members or untrained staff. Translating key IEP documents into the family's home language and allowing extra processing time for families listening through interpretation. Virtual meeting technology issues can be prevented by testing all technology beforehand, establishing a backup plan if technology fails, ensuring all participants have access to necessary platforms and devices, and providing a phone option for those unable to join video conferencing. When family members are disengaged or quiet, directly invite their input using their name, validate their knowledge of their child, offer alternative communication methods such as written feedback, and follow up individually after the meeting to gather their perspective. Anticipating and preparing for these challenges demonstrates professional competence and commitment to meaningful collaboration. Throughout this presentation, we have explored the essential components of preparing for and facilitating effective IEP meetings that honor the contributions of all team members. Let me summarize the key takeaways. First, preparation is absolutely essential to meeting success, beginning 8 to 10 weeks before the scheduled meeting. Second, every team member contributes unique and valuable perspectives that strengthen the IEP. Third, all decisions must be grounded in current, relevant data to ensure IEPs are responsive to actual student needs rather than assumptions. Fourth, providing draft IEPs and supporting materials in advance empowers families to participate as equal partners rather than passive recipients. Fifth, intentionally creating welcoming environments removes barriers to family participation and demonstrates genuine respect. Sixth, effective facilitation through active listening, respectful communication, and collaborative problem solving ensures productive meetings. Seventh, offering alternative participation options promotes genuine inclusion of all stakeholders' voices. Eighth, ongoing communication and collaboration throughout the school year strengthen partnerships and ensure the IEP remains responsive. Ninth, the students must be central to their own educational planning, developing self advocacy and self determination skills. Finally, compliance with IDEA requirements protect both parents and protect both students' rights and schools' legal standing. Meaningful IEP meetings that honor families and students as equal partners require intentional preparation, genuine respect, and commitment to collaborative decision making. When special education professionals approach IEP development with this mindset, the result is more effective, responsive educational plans that truly serve students with exceptionalities and their families. Thank you for your commitment to supporting students with exceptionalities and their families throughout thoughtful, collaborative IEP processes.